Hello and welcome to the Quebber channel. I am Jason, your host. And, well, it arrived. The arcade machine. It came in basically a box and I had to take it, put it all together. I was going to actually record me doing it, but I needed to focus on it so much. I actually went on Discord and streamed it with a few people while I was doing it, but I had to follow the manual. You see, normally when I build something like that, it's very, very hard for me to actually do things in order. It's very hard for me to actually, how can I put it? Keep chronological. And that can mean when I build stuff sometimes it can be a bit janky, and I did not want this arcade cabinet to be janky. I wanted every screw to be put in right, every part of it. It probably took me about an hour to put it together, which was more than it needed to be. I was going to try and bring the box, but it's a massive box. So the box came and I had it put in the living room. The people that I had it off, Liberty Games, brilliant, amazing people. They, the delivery company kept me informed at every stage. They even texted me 30 minutes before it was going to arrive to let me know that as long as traffic wasn't too bad, they'd be there in 30 minutes. So I brought it upstairs, I put it together. I would say that it's something that you can put together yourself, but be careful about your back. It is a very heavy unit. This is not a little play console to move around. This is a full-size arcade machine. And it's amazing. And what I mean by that is, for me, for my issues that I face, having something like this, it was the one part of my past that I couldn't connect to. Emulated games are fun, but without the tactile and the connection to what they came from, it doesn't have the same effect. It's better than nothing, but it doesn't have the same effect. And I've always known that if I could get an arcade machine, it could become a massive coping strategy for my autism, for my ADHD, for multiple issues I face. Standing in front of that arcade machine would take me back to 1970s and the 1980s. All those times until 1982, when my dad would take me and the family down to Tenby. We never went to Blackpool, which was the normal one. We had a really nice caravan, and every time Dad had a holiday, we would pack it all up, we would go on the road, we would go down to this, I can't remember what the park was called, but it's a park in Tenby, which is in Wales, Tenby, Tenby, I believe. What is the EY? I don't know. Anyway, we'd go down there, and this was early in the 70s was when I first got a look at an arcade machine. A Space Invaders arcade machine. It's why that game has always been so iconic to me, Space Invaders. Because apart from home stuff, it was the first arcade game. So that first summer, those 2 weeks holiday that my dad took from work, spending that time. Usually, before I knew about arcade machines, holidays would be weird for me. I'd be away from my bedroom. I'd be away from the place that felt thingy. I didn't get on with other kids well. I didn't associate with people that I didn't know. It was holidays were hard. But once I discovered the arcade machine in that little chip shop on the actual side, everything changed. And the holidays after that day, I would always save up as much um, money as I could. In fact, my mum pretty much paid for everything. She always did. She was wonderful. She would always make sure I had enough money to play the games, even though she didn't understand them back then. But I would go along down to the main seafront, Tenby. My dad went there basically because he loved deep sea fishing, and they had a deep sea fishing boat that went out. He would go out for the entire day. And my mum and sister would love the beaches and everything, and going down the promenade and all that. And me, I'd be in the arcades, and it was such an iconic side that I knew that this would be a major league coping strategy. But there was many things that got in the way of it. The idea that I couldn't ever justify getting a original old one. They're massively expensive, massively expensive. And if you do get one, then you're going to have to repair it. You're going to have to maintain it. And if it's a CRT, then it's very hard to look after them. So I was always wanted one, but never had one. And so time went on. I just, how can I put it? It was a dream. Recently, I was introduced to the Legends Ultimate. Now, the Legends Ultimate is not the best arcade machine out there if you look at it from a perspective of power and sound system and everything like that. It comes with 300 games, which is quite low for the lot of systems, and it doesn't have the power of some of the bigger stuff. But what it does have is right from the start, the Legend Ultimate allowed you to add your own games, to add your own overlay, to add your own system to it. And it has developed a massive following because it's built into it to be allowed you to change things in that. And for the price, and the total price for it was £799. Now, most of that comes from the last little bit of money that I had to replace stuff for my safe room and that. And so when that thing was so effective last night when I was trying it out, that after I came off Discord, I was sitting with it and I was just pressing a few buttons and that. And I found myself closing my eyes and just imagining I was back there, even without turning it on. And I can tell after just one night of messing about with this that this will be a massive part of my safe space from now on. Now, it's not mobile. You'd have to take it apart to get it out the room. It's not, even though it only draws about, I would say about between 30 and 60 watts. And that's what my guess is from looking at it. So it is a low-powered, economical system. Anyway, let's introduce you to my new baby. So it is a massive unit. Got and the sides decals, gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. And 2 full sets of controllers. Not only have got the buttons and that, it's got for the pinball. You've got the pinball stuff at the side, one on either side. So when you want to play pinball, it's got a spinner for stuff like breakout, super breakout, and that kind of thing. The controls for stuff like this trackball in the center is brilliant, and so on. It's got a rewind function, so you can rewind games. So let's turn it on. Now, I apologize for my audio, but of course I've got this headset on so I can talk to you while I'm over here. Now, you can buy a digital screen for up there that can play different things in there and be actually another screen, little tiny screen, but I couldn't afford that. Okay, so when it loads up, you've got this lot of games and that. You've got 300 games built in. Classics like Space Invaders, Millipede, all the licensed games here. And if you just had these 300 games with this entire system, that would be cool. That would be awesome. But the party trick of this system is, now I haven't signed into Alt Games or anything like that, because I don't use it like that, but you've got the arcade net that you can connect to, lobby because you can connect to, and scoreboards and everything like that. You've got the App Store, you can buy bits and pieces. You can pay for stuff, you can purchase stuff to add to your system, you can set up your account. It's brilliant. I mean, nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, of course, massive amount of settings. I mean, this is a system that allows you can connect it via Wi-Fi. You can connect a Raspberry Pi to it or a computer to it and use this to control the games on your PC. It's an amazing system. It really is. I'm really impressed by it, even if it was just that. But no. If we go to this, which is the BYOG trademark, bring your own games, which was I can't believe how amazing it is that they put this in. That you didn't have to mod it, that you didn't have to tweak settings. They allowed you to basically put your own ROMs and set it up. So if we go to add-on, this is where it gets cool, because I've got here my old, well, I say old, but it's a few years old, SanDisk 2 terabyte drive there. And when I was researching arcade machines, when I was researching the arcade machines, I heard of something called Awesome Source. Now, Awesome Source is a fan-made front-end game system. We're on version 2 now, and you join their Facebook group and go from there. But it's for the Legends Ultimate systems, and basically when you activate this, remember you've just got 300 games on the base system. We press the add-on here. We go down to Awesome Source. We click on Awesome Source, and there's the script to run, the script to just start it going. And then you just press the A button and you let it boot up. Like I said, this is not the most powerful system. It's not the most, but AtGames has optimized the board quite well. So then we're at this point here. So we've got all the different arcade games you could ever freaking want. I mean, seriously, this has all of them. Different collections, which will have all the Mortal Kombat games and Mario games and all that. Computers, there's computers in here, yeah. Different computers. Consoles, every console you could think of. Handhelds. Of course, all the arcade games. So let's go to show you the kind of what's in here. Let's go into the consoles. Everything from the Amstrad X400, Vision, Amiga 3D32. Basically, you should pick one or any of these. You go into it and play all of these systems. We are talking and even up to the Dreamcast, PlayStation. So on. It is an amazing system, the Awesome Source. And yeah, I mean, my God, so Flappy Birds wasn't an original. Holy shit! It's Flappy Bird. That looks like Flappy Birds. Just looks like Flappy Birds, but beluga whale. So you're playing a beluga whale, and you've just got. Anyway, as you can see, I can get very, very involved with this system. Player 1, Mission 1. Oh my God, what is this? I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, wrong. I'm going to die horribly, aren't I? Press the buttons, press the buttons. What's the buttons? Which? Oh, can't play it left-handed. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay, we'll leave that there because I have no idea what I'm doing here. Okay. So yeah. You know what the crazy thing is? The really crazy thing is I could probably remove 50% of my coping strategy and replace it with that unit. That's a crazy thing because of the way it is, how tactile it is. And of course, I don't use my chair when you stand up in front of it. You have music going in the background. In fact, I believe, let me just find it. That's what I thought. There's actual YouTube channels that are basically just ASMR, old arcade machine, old arcades, ambient music of basically all the sounds that you hear in an arcade. And I could just have that in the background while I'm playing. It's like crazy. Like I said, this isn't something for a man cave for me. Although this fucking thing would be amazing in any man cave. This is part of, and a massive part of future proofing my coping strategies. I am so astounded by how well it's already works. It actually shocks me. It shocks me that when I turn it on, how it makes me feel. One of my friends joked last night about all you need now is the something to replicate the gamer's sweat and the stale sweat, cigarettes, and sweet smell that you get at arcades. Oh no, this is amazing. This is far more than just. This is like it is something that to add to the system that I've always wanted and never will do. So what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to play some games on my system. You're all splendiferous.